Ezra an autistic adventure worth watching? Hey everyone, welcome to Cinema, where we focus on a film. I'm Josh, this is Simply Cinema. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen Ezra, or if you were just waiting for this review to help you decide if you're going to see it or not. Make sure to comment down below what you thought of it if you have seen it, and make sure to like this video if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you're not already to join in the film culture community where we talk about the love of cinema as a whole. But going right into the synopsis, Max is a stand-up comedian still living with his father, struggling to co-parent his autistic son with his ex-wife, and meanwhile there's different struggles that come about that arise and cause problems that leads him and his autistic son to go on a cross-country adventure as they try and figure out and go about their different relationships that get them closer together by the end. Starting with the positive, overall I just enjoy the nature of what they do, going into the nature of autism, how they're exploring that. I enjoy what films are doing nowadays, bringing more awareness, shedding a light, and respectfully doing it so. And with this film, it just doesn't necessarily ever get sappy with the nature or cliche with what you're treating with this, or poke fun of it too hard. It's still showing the struggles, the hardships that he has to go through as the kid, and what he has to face with his parents, and you see the differences and everything that's going on within his brain. It's still hard to wrap your head around everything he's directly thinking, because you just can't really see that unless you're really that person yourself. And so just how that all flows about, it's difficult, but you see the authenticity to the nature of how these parents are really trying to do their best, just being in this ex sort of relationship, and then this son Max that's still living in his father's house, and what he is doing trying to raise his son in that way, and different struggles that come about as he acts up. And there's different questions of where the autism stems from that come about in real life. I know of different people around me that have autism, and these sort of things get questioned and get spoken to, some of the exact words you bring on screen, which can make it feel more surreal to the experience you are witnessing on the screen. And there's a question of morality of how far this father is going to take his son cross country based on different problems that are going on and things that are going wrong with the law and everything that I'm not going to spoil any specific details with. But in the general scheme of things, the way that goes about, it goes about a different divide that is also sweet and authentic to the nature of how they're building Max's character, because even though there's multiple main characters, Max, as the father of this autistic son, is sort of the main focus, while also being the co-inhabitor to how we're building up Ezra as the kid that has autism, and just the way that all comes out, being hard to touch him or show your affectionate love. It's just felt with the right emotions and portrayed with the right camera movements and everything that flows throughout. And with the cast, the performances are fantastic. You get Robert De Niro and just everything that flows throughout. And we had special appearances I wasn't personally aware of. I don't remember if they showed it in the trailer or announced it anywhere, but Rainn Wilson, Vera Farmiga, and Whoopi Goldberg, and maybe you have a couple more that I'm forgetting at the top of my head. But overall, just the appearances were great. The way they built up the story, the characters, and their chemistry that was built on screen together was believable to the natural authenticity, to the writing, to the script, to how it was directed as a whole. And ultimately, it was just a sweet and simple story that did its job right, handled all the characters and the subject matter as a whole appropriately while shedding light and giving advice in everything that you can really get out of this film in all the right ways. And going right into the mix elements, overall, this isn't a quick-face film. It isn't overly dramatized to where you're really compelled by the nature of what is being built up on screen. This is a more down-to-earth type of film that can throw people off just for the nature of how some of the slow pacing can be just too real to real life. Obviously, it's taking some cuts. It's not a straightforward film of narrative because it's taking place over a few days at the very least, but just how they build up these characters is just taking its own time and going to different places with natural settings, and there's only so many parts where it really builds the emotions, because the other parts are where, unless you don't know anything about autism as well, you may not get to connect as much with how certain things are presented, how much you believe that acting on screen based on what you may know about autism in real life. And so just the way they go about that, I'm letting you know ahead of time, it may not always connect with every audience member. It's not something that mishandles its subject matter, so I'm very highly recommending what it is going after. But again, with some of its pacing, the certain beats along the way just aren't as quick as you may expect, or have the right heights of emotion, because it doesn't necessarily do anything super special or creative with its craft or with its story. It doesn't try something super new. We kind of seen some things like this before, but that doesn't disregard anything this film has to hold on its own, shedding light on autism and everything in general that just has something that I have a good amount of fun with, and also taking in and soaking in the drama as it sheds its light, as it goes along slowly, but telling its story right. And so that's just my personal review for Ezra, which I have to personally rate as simply 8 out of 10. Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are on Ezra. Was it good, bad, or somewhere right in the middle? Let me know all that. Make sure to like this video if you enjoy it, subscribe if you're ready to join in the film culture community where we talk about the love of cinema as a whole. So that's just all, and make sure to do yourself a favor and go watch a movie.